This is Kibana Basics filters. So what are filters? Filters are used in Kibana and zAdviser as a way to limit or exclude data that is being used to populate a zAdviser dashboard. Now, some of the popular filters that we use in zAdviser are LPAR names, user IDs, products, program names. Now, a pinned filter will allow that filter to stay set as you move from dashboard to dashboard. A non-pinned filter will be deleted once you exit that dashboard. Now, a negative filter allows the user to exclude data from the dashboard. So if you have a particular filter set on an LPAR name, such as CW01, if you make that a negative filter, it will show all the data but data from CW01. You also have the ability to disable the filter to see the dashboard with and without that filter applied. So let's go into Kibana in zAdviser and see how to use filters. Okay, let's talk more about filters on the Abendate dashboard. First off, this is the filter bar up here. These are where your filters, when you set them, are going to show up. So here we have a filter for Abendate and a filter for the enhanced records. Now, to set filters, there's a couple of ways of doing this. One way, which I'm not going to recommend, is using the Add Filter button. Using this is going to require you to know the name of the field that you want to filter on and what the value of that filter is and what you want to actually filter on. The easiest way to set a filter is to come into one of the visualizations and click to set the filter. So I can say CW01, click on CW01 in the pie chart, and that is going to set a filter on the LPAR name CW01. So now the dashboard is only showing me data from the LPAR CW01. If I want to exclude CW01 from the results, I can use the exclude results button by clicking on that. If I want to delete the filter, I can use the delete button, or more easily, I can just click the X button, and now that's gone. In time series visualizations, one way of setting a filter is if you click on, in the legend, you can see we have Abendate for CICS. This is allowing me to change the color, but you can see there's a plus and a minus. So I can either filter for the value Abendate for kicks or filter that out. So if I just want to see my Abendate for kicks Abends, I can set that. And then it sets the appropriate filter for me. I didn't need to know that zadv.prodl name is the long name, is the field name for Abendate for kicks, or for all products actually. And then another way is in the visualization itself, you can click on one of the stacked bars and it will ask you what filters you want to apply. So it's going to say, do you want to set the time to March 11th, between midnight and noon, and then also set a filter on Abendate for kicks. So if we set that, this is going to be a little bit of a special case because in this case, it set a filter up here, but the filter it's set for the time is actually in the date time picker. So now it's just showing me that 12-hour period from midnight to noon on March 11th. So I'm going to come back to my date time picker and go back to my 1 month time period. Now the other things we can do here, we can temporarily disable the filter by clicking on temporarily disable, and that grays out the filter and it puts a dash in there. Now if I go off of this dashboard, all those filters are gone. So you might want to actually keep that filter there. So let's use our CW01 as an example, or LPAR. And what I'm going to do is I am going to pin across all apps. And this is going to put a little gray bar on the left-hand side here, which is different from the App-and-Date and the enhanced record only filter. And now when I hit home, that filter followed me. So if I jump to a different dashboard, if I jump to my file aid dashboard, CW01 followed me, and now I'm only seeing the CW01 data. Again, it follows you. Now, if I want to exclude this, I can say exclude results. So show me everything but CW01. Now you can manually change this too, right? So you don't have to click in here. If you know what you want, you can come into the value and select, CW09. And I can set that to CW09. Now it's just CW09. But what if I want CW01 and CW09? So let's go back to just including CW09. And I'm going to edit my filter. And I'm going to change the operator to is one of. And this is going to require me to set the values. So you can see I have two values set, CW1 and CW09. Now when I click Save, it's just going to show me those two LPARs. Now if I want to delete it, click on Delete, and I'm back to where I was before. Now, without having to know the names of the different fields to filter on, we do provide you a little help. And under Tools, you can see there's a link to something called Filter Helper. So if I click on Filter Helper, this will allow me to set filters on some particular popular fields. So I'm back to my LPAR again. And then you can see we've given you what the name of it is, zAdv.sysname. And if I want to set my filter here, here's my CW01, CW09, and you can see it did it for me automatically. I didn't have to say select is or is one of. The filter helper did that for me automatically. And the important thing to know about this dashboard is that you must come up here, click on it, and say pin across all apps. And that way it will follow you to the different dashboards. So that is a real high-level overview of using filters, setting filters in zAdviser.